21 reasons why you can't advanced tuck planche yet. Let's get started. So the two different types of planche lean are what I call the perfect planche lean and the extreme planche lean. So quickly, let's break them down. The first type of planche lean, the perfect planche lean, is one that you focus on way more at the start of your planche journey when you're doing more of the advanced tuck and tuck planche. In the perfect planche lean, we're focusing on perfect planche form. So that means perfect protraction, hip position, so posterior pelvic tilt. This is what's going to give us that nice straight angle, straight line for the planche that you're going to be doing in your straddle planches and full planche. So you might as well start training this now at the start of your planche journey because it takes a lot of time to build up this strength. The extreme planche lean, we're going to try and maintain our perfect form as much as we can, but we're way more focused on how much we're leaning over our hands. So this is where we're going to work the anterior part of our deltoid way more, and this is really what's going to get us leaning and moving our center of gravity over our hands so we can balance in that full planche, which is what we want. This type of planche lean is really what's going to get you the planche, but you still need to work on the perfect form type of planche lean because these accessory muscles are very important to doing your planche properly. Reason number 2 why you can't advance tuck planche yet is because you haven't tried these 2 gymnastics exercises that work on your protraction. So from carrying out my Form Check Friday series, which if you don't know is a series where I analyze your guys' clips of your planche form, break it down, show you what you can do better and suggest better exercises for you guys to progress with your planche form. So check that out if you haven't already. But from this series, I've noticed a huge issue when people are trying the advanced tuck planche and doing their attempts is that they're losing protraction. So to combat this, we need some exercises to build our protraction strength while leaning slightly more forward. So we have 2 great exercises for you. The first exercise is partial shoulder presses. So this first one is a gymnastics exercise, the shoulder press. It's a big one for building up that protraction strength and the straight arm conditioning. But of course, we're not going to have the strength to press straight up into a handstand yet. Probably not. So we're just going to do partial range of motion reps. So we're just going to push as much as we can while maintaining our protraction, right? And then we're going to build up the strength doing multiple reps. And over time, we're eventually going to be able to press up into that handstand and complete our shoulder press. But for now, we're just going to do partials. This second exercise is very similar. It's a pike support press. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into a support hold, which is basically the top of the dip with our scapula protracted already. And then we're going to start leaning forward over our hands while maintaining the protraction. If we lose our protraction, we stop the rep, start again. So we're going to maintain our protraction the entire time, and then we're going to press, lean forward over our hands, maintain the protraction, and then come back. We're going to keep doing this for reps, and over time we're going to try and lean more over our hands. These 2 exercises are going to build your protraction strength while leaning more than when you're in the tuck planche. So when you come to the advanced tuck planche, you're going to be way stronger in your base, in your scapula, and be able to protract and hold it a lot better, which is going to get your knees off the floor. Reason number 3 why you can't advanced tuck planche yet is because you haven't tried the one leg advanced tuck. So guys, this one's going to be pretty quick to understand. When we go from one progression to another, so from the tuck planche to the advanced tuck planche, this is actually a big jump in intensity. So we need some stuff in the middle, some exercises or some progressions to kind of bridge the gap between these 2 different intensities. So one of these ways of doing this is the one leg advanced tuck planche. So to do this, we're just going into a tuck planche and we're just going to move one leg into the advanced tuck planche position. This is going to increase the intensity slightly and is going to work our core a lot more. So we're going to switch sides to make sure you're doing it evenly and work on this progression as well. It's going to help build that strength towards, especially in the core, towards the advanced tuck planche. Reason number 4 why you can't advanced tuck planche yet is because you haven't tried box assisted advanced tuck planche holds. This exercise mimics the advanced tuck planche while being able to focus on your protraction, and the balance aspect of the advanced tuck planche is taken out of it. You're just using a box. And for those of you that know that your straight arm strength is your weak link, so for example, if you do your attempts and you notice that your arms are bending slightly, you know, your elbows are popping out, then this one's going to be a great one for you because it's brilliant at building up that straight arm strength, and you can do these in presses as well. It's going to work on your pressing strength, and that's what I recommend you do. You do presses and then you do holds. This one's going to be great for building up this initial strength. I wish I knew about this one earlier, so guys, try this one out. Reason number 5 why you can't advance tuck planche yet is because you're not doing any core training. So guys, me personally, advanced tuck planche was the hardest progression for me to learn, so I sympathize with a lot of you. I was there as well, and I think something that held me back was not doing any core training. I only did the core training, which was my actual planche attempts, which is not a good thing. You want to do specific core training, work on that posterior pelvic tilt, because this is the key differentiating factor from the tuck planche. So you don't want to just focus on tuck planches and rely on that for your core training. Do core specific workouts as well. Reason number 6 why you can't advance tuck planche yet is because you're not doing pumps. So you guys that have been on the channel a while will know I love pumps as a method to learn the planche. And the reason for this is because in gymnastics, they don't just do planche attempts. A lot of the work they're doing to learn the planche is partner assisted. So they have someone else helping them out, release the load a little bit so there's less torque on the shoulders, so they're actually able to gain this strength and work in a reasonable rep range or high intensity range. That's why I love swings and pumps, because you can use momentum to act as your partner and help you out a little bit. So just use the right amount of momentum, go into a swing, you can go into an L-sit and then advanced tuck, and just use the right amount of momentum so you still feel it working, especially near the end of your workout. That's where you want to place these, near the end after you've done your attempts, and this one is really going to help you out. Reason number 7 why you can't advance tuck planche yet is because you're not doing cat camels. So I suggest in your warm-ups you work on a bit of core alignment, and the cat camel is a great one because it's very low intensity, it's not going to tire you out, and you can keep doing it for a number of reps until you feel ready, and it's going to work on that posterior pelvic tilt quite a lot without tiring out your core. Reason number 8 why you can't advance tuck planche yet is because you're focused too much on the tuck planche. So guys, this reason is a big one, and it's all about specificity. If you work the tuck planche, you're only going to get better at the tuck planche, right? We need to start doing more exercises that get us in the advanced tuck planche position. So keep working on your tuck planche, get the numbers up, because this is going to be your basis. But as much as you can in your workouts, right, you want to start working on the advanced tuck planche position. Whatever exercises that let you get in this position, whether it be a band, use the Gore Nation bands, check the link in the description, go on to Gore Nation, buy the sets of their resistance bands, use the code JACK10 for minus 10% off, get the bands, get in that advanced tuck planche position, and that's really what's going to get you progressing in your advanced tuck planche. Reason number 9 why you can't advance tuck planche yet is because you're doing the wrong kind of core training. So make sure you pick core exercises that work on hollow body position, opening the hips, on posterior pelvic tilt. This is really what you want to focus on to get your advanced tuck planche. If a core exercise isn't one of these 3, but it's still a very good core exercise, don't exclude it from your workouts. Keep doing those as well. Hanging leg raises and stuff like that are always going to be good and will still transfer to your planche training. Just make sure you're including those other types of core training as well. Reason number 10 why you can't advance tuck planche yet is because your tuck planche hold time is too short. Make sure your hold times are going upwards of 20 seconds. Don't go too long. 30 seconds and above, you might already be there where you can start working on the advanced tuck planche as well. So make sure you're getting like 15 to 20 seconds at least, and then start thinking about the advanced tuck planche there. Reason number 11 why you can't advance tuck planche yet is because you're not doing pike push-ups. So guys, pike push-ups, this is one that I want to start preaching for a lot of beginners to do. It's a basic foundation exercise for calisthenics, and if you're not working your shoulders with sets and reps at the end of your workout with pike push-ups, then you need to start now, because it's going to build that shoulder strength and it's going to transfer to your handstands, your handstand push-ups, your 90-degree handstand push-ups. So you might as well start working it now, so when you come to do this later advanced skills, you've already got the strength down. Reason number 12 why you can't advance tuck planche yet is because you're being held back by your wrist mobility. One of the main differences between the tuck planche and the advanced tuck planche is that greater lean angle. This requires a lot more wrist flexibility to lean slightly more. So if your wrist mobility is limited, because in the tuck planche you're not leaning that much, but in the advanced tuck planche it's considerably more. So if you don't have that wrist mobility, it's going to set you back and make it a lot more difficult to get in the position. You're not going to get your hips high enough, etc. etc. So you're going to see all these problems with your form. So make sure you're doing your wrist mobility exercises, you're doing your wrist warm-ups, and making sure your wrists are prepared and ready for your workouts. Reason number 13 why you can't advance tuck planche is because you're not doing straight arm dumbbell flies. Guys, I know we're using weights, but if you've seen my I use weights to learn the planche video, you know weights are a great way to supplement your planche training. And this is something I did to learn the full planche and basically get longer hold times with the straddle planche, which basically got me the full planche. If you haven't tried it, do these Zanetti presses on the bench or on the floor. You can do these pseudo Maltese presses, and then after you do a few presses, do some holds, maintaining your protraction. This is really going to help get in that advanced tuck planche position and increase your hold time. Reason number 14 why you can't advance tuck planche yet is because your tuck planche form is wrong. If you're doing the wrong form in your tuck planches, this is going to carry on into advanced tuck planche form, or even it might limit you as you're not getting the right strength in the right areas, so you're not able to learn the advanced tuck planche. So if you notice in your tuck planches, your hips aren't in line with your shoulders, something like that, your arms are bending, you need to fix these first in your tuck planches before you move on to your advanced tuck planche. Reason number 15 why you can't advance tuck planche yet is because you haven't tried pseudo advanced tuck planche lean. So guys, in this exercise, we're working the exact lean angle that we're going to be doing in the advanced tuck, but in a lot more manageable way. It's a lot lower intensity, so near the end of the workout is when you're going to do this again. You're going to do the pseudo advanced tuck planche lean, get into a protracted position, work on opening the hips and contracting the core. It's going to be a good one for the core as well. You can include this in your core workouts, and then do this one because you're going to work that specific lean angle rather than doing planche leans and doing it perfect form where you're not leaning much. In this one again, we're working on leaning more, which is going to get us that advanced tuck planche. Reason number 16 why you can't advance tuck planche yet is because you're training way too often. So this is one that I've seen more often than you might think. I've had many people DM me saying, oh, I'm trying to learn the advanced tuck planche, can you help? And then I'll ask them a load of questions because I need to get like a kind of history on what they've been doing. And so many of them say, yeah, I train every day the planche. I want it so bad that I just train it every day. Guys, don't do this. Don't train every day. This is probably why you're plateauing or not getting there if you are doing this, because the fatigue is going to build up way too quickly to where you can't progress. Your body's trying to recover, can't recover, and then you're just training again. So you're not getting any stronger, you're actually getting weaker. So guys, make sure you're having a certain number of days you're training, stick to it, don't overtrain. You know, if you find yourself plateauing, the first thing to do is take your training back so you can recover and get stronger. Reason number 17 why you can't advance tuck planche yet is because you're not recording your set. The advanced tuck planche, it's way harder, considerably harder to know how your form is looking in the advanced tuck planche. Are your legs in the right area? Are they 90 or perpendicular to the floor? Are your hips high enough? Are you protracted still? It's really hard to tell at this point. So at this point, I feel like it's really important you record your set. So make sure you're doing that, you know, and then you can work on your form and your weak links. Reason number 18 why you can't advance tuck planche yet is because you can't L-sit properly. So guys, this is a big one that I see when people do the L-sit or even leg raises or knee raises. They let the tension release on their core at the bottom, and that means that their lower back starts contracting. Instead, you don't want to do this. You want to keep your lower back relaxed the entire time, even when your legs are at the bottom, but keep the core contracted the entire time. This is going to keep the tension on the core. So even if you have to leave your legs slightly in front of you to do this, it keeps your back straight, your legs are in front of you, and then just lift them up there. It keeps the tension on the core. This is much more going to transfer to the advanced tuck planche because if you notice, you're at an open hip angle with the core contracted, lower back relaxed. So this actually transfers to advanced tuck quite well with the hip position, so you want to learn to do this. Reason number 19 why you can't advance tuck planche yet is because you're chasing perfect form straight away. Don't be too hard on yourself that, well, why isn't it perfect form yet? It will come. Trust me, keep doing it, it will come. I was there, advanced tuck planche was my hardest progression, so keep going with it. Reason number 20 why you can't advance tuck planche yet is because you're only training on the floor. So guys, it is possible to learn the advanced tuck planche on the floor, of course, but it is a lot harder. And my thinking when it comes to my training is that first hurdle is the hardest, so I need to make it the easiest because the ones that come after, it's going to be easier to jump over. If you're struggling with the advanced tuck planche and you're only using the floor, try using parallettes. And lastly, reason number 21 why you can't advance tuck planche is because you haven't watched this video, which has a full workout routine that will put into action the 20 reasons in this video for you in a workout plan, as well as the 5 best exercises that will get you the advanced tuck planche if you do them consistently.